And that's a perfect segue into the second story here. That being Suicide Squad. Because I hope Suicide Squad and the team at Rocksteady saw Marvel's Avengers and have seen it as a cautionary tale of what could happen with their game. And I mean, I think we said it before how this game has almost certainly been changed, or whatever Rocksteady was working on has almost certainly changed multiple times over the course of the year since Arkham Knight came out in 2015. Suicide Squad probably changed a bit too in that time. So there was a leak this week of just a screenshot. I only saw one screenshot. I don't believe there was any more than the one. There was one screenshot of a menu from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, posted on 4chan, corroborated by VGC. Um, and it shows it's a menu that essentially you could kind of look at it as like maybe a menu in like a Fortnite or in Avengers even. I'm going to describe it the best I can. The image is gone off the internet now. You can't
If
see it. It's been taken down because of copyright reasons.
save you some time here though, if you would like to watch if you'd like to see a rendition of it, go watch Kyle Bossman's very good video he made about his most recent videos about this subject, and he just drew it from he did basically a side by side drawing of it, so that way he couldn't get in trouble legally, but also people could see it, and yeah, it paints the full picture.
Yeah, for the record, I actually thought about doing that as well. I just didn't do it. And I did not know that Kyle Bossman did that at all until Tyler told me before.
Yeah, we're not accused. I don't think he'll accuse anyone of cribbing his videos. He's be like, nobody watches my videos. What are you talking about? Nobody's stealing ideas here.
Yeah, I definitely had the idea yesterday night, but I just didn't do it. Did not know Kyle did that. So here's how I'm going to describe it the best I can. On the center to the right side of the screen, you have the four characters. In the foreground was Captain Boomerang, who I believe was the chosen character by whoever was playing in that video, in that image right there. Then you have, Harley, Deadshot, King Shark in the background on the right side. On the left side of the screen, you have an image saying, hey, this is the mission that you're going to go on. And then it says you have mission select under it, start mission. You have an option to either be playing online, like open lobby, closed lobby, however you want your lobby to be. And then you can change the difficulty of the mission too. Top of the screen, you have a bunch of different tabs like characters, skills, whatever, that, so on and so forth. Battle Pass was one of those options. And that kind of set off a firestorm. Just like, why is there a Battle Pass in Suicide Squad? Other things on the menu before we get into that right there. There were different types of currencies on the top of the screen, which people were also concerned about and worried about. And then at the bottom of the screen, under each of the characters were two different numbers. I forgot what the numbers were, but one number was one color and the other number was a different color. So you see this menu, you see this screen here, and it just screams, oh no. No. This is going down the route that we all suspected but didn't want it to be. It's a live service-esque type of game.
If that was not a clear enough picture for you, listener, viewer, it is the Fortnite screen. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's you and your friends. There's you and your friends, and you're the Suicide Squad, and it looks exactly like the Fortnite screen. And I just want to point out that I think a good point by Kyle Bossman he makes in the video as well is all of the characters that are traditionally not gun wielding characters are brandishing guns. It's this is, it doesn't even feel like a superhero. It's arguably kind of more depressing than Avengers, because at least in Avengers they're still using their superpowers.
Yeah. So that Battle Pass, according to a development source that spoke to VGC, they tried to temper the flames and everything. They said here, no. The Battle Pass is purely for cosmetics. It's nothing more than that. It's just cosmetics, which to me, it's
yeah, we pointed out
Battle Passes are cosmetic already inherently, but this does not seem like a game that needs a Battle Pass. In my opinion, it's not a game that needs a Battle Pass. If it's only cosmetics, why not just have them in game as unlockables? You know what I mean? Why do we have to grind a Battle Pass to get these cosmetics? Other than, well, we need to check that box for the 2023 AAA game, fill out list.
Yeah, I don't know why they're doing any of this. It's all unnecessary. I think I was telling you pre-show, I take everything back I said about this game last week. Well, you're like you have a question on our docket. Like, do we have concerns? Not only do I have concerns, I do believe that this is just the same mistake repeated again. Arguably, potentially worse because of the so my theory here is it's more offensive what they're doing than even what the Avengers did, but might be mildly more successful because I assume they're kind of operating under the assumption, like kind of how you posed this question earlier, like, well, what if the content had been like the map had been better and had been more clear and had been more consistent? I think they're gonna operate under the assumption that like we can do it, like we'll be successful. And I think they'll probably iron that out. I think that may have been why, everything took so long. I think it won't matter. Like, I think it'll be clear as day by end of year that this game was financially not worth it. Even more so because it seems like they scrapped a couple of games that probably would have been more fun in the lead up to this game. Like, I don't think this was worth the 8-year wait, right? It was 2015. Yes. Was it 14 or 15?
2015.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been, personally, I don't think it's going to end up being worth the 8-year wait. I'll probably still play it. And hopefully maybe if the blowback is really bad, if I go in with the right expectations, it could be Arkham or Gotham Knights level fun. Because I like
brain
as Kyle
burr.
states in the video, which I feel like we were in a similar mindset with Gotham Knights. I just like drivel. I like chicken nuggets, But if it's like people unironically like it on TikTok or something, I'm gonna hate this game. Like if they're just like, this is so cool, I'm gonna be, nope, not even for a second.
So like, but what if the game actually like it comes out and like it is actually legitimately a good game? Like, and you play it, you're like, okay, like
I'll play the story and
I was
like,
excited, then I was nervous, but no, actually, this is good. This isn't.
You know what? It will make me more mad, but less depressed, right? More mad because this was also preventable, but at least it didn't die this. At least it wasn't so bad on top of, like, at least there's a good game. And like, if it's a good game and you can see those bones and you can see that like Rocksteady still got it, I think that'll give me more confidence that it was the executive level decision to turn this into what it is. It failed. And hopefully that means Rocksteady just gets free from being forced to do this in future games and we'll let him cook, because if it's bad like, and it sucks and it doesn't sell well, I worry what'll happen to some of the devs at Rocksteady if they'll get laid off. Like, ultimately, if it's a bomb, which I think it'll be no matter what, maybe not Avengers level, but I think it could be more financially successful if it'll sell slightly better or whatever. But ultimately, if it's a bomb, like, they'll probably have some layoffs or whatever. But if it reviews well, if it reviews decently enough, I think that'll probably save enough people's jobs, and you know what I mean? And they'll be given another opportunity, because then you have that argument of like, hey, look, people like what we do. It was the business plan that was wrong all this time.
Yeah. And like, I have here like the question, like, does what happened with Avengers make us nervous about this? And I was already nervous. And then earlier this week after the leak released, I went back and watched the gameplay trailer that they put out, I think a year or so ago, where it's the cinematic shots, the gameplay and everything, because I hadn't seen it since then. And I was like, oh wow, I forgot, actually, like, all of this looks super cool. Like the movement, everything looks super fluid, the gameplay looks really dynamic and exciting and stuff. But it's just a matter of, okay, we need to actually see like an actual mission. Let's see an actual mission play out. Let's see. We haven't seen anything more since then. I want to see actual gameplay of the game. And like, maybe that'll help, temper some of the worries some more in terms of, okay, how is this going to turn out? Because I mean, before this week, I thought, okay, it'll be an open world maybe. But now it's like, oh no, it's mission structured, just like Avengers was a mission structured. So, okay, I hope the level design is there. I hope it's not so grindy or repetitive, fighting these enemies and everything. I hope that if whatever their plan is, like if there is going to be live service past, like, okay, the campaign is done, now we're going into live service mode as you try to get better gear for your characters and stuff. Like, I hope I hope that Rocksteady has thought about all of this. Like, I really hope they have looked at Marvel's Avengers barely tread water and eventually drown and said, we cannot have that happen to us. We don't want that to happen to us, especially because it's not even like this is just a DC game that's like its own spinoff. This is in their Arkham universe. And I don't want their Arkham universe either, to also like flounder and have like a tainted mark against it because of this game. You know what I mean? It's continuing on the Arkhamverse story. So I hope to God that they have looked at Avengers and said, we need to make sure that our game is not grindy. We need to make sure that it's not so repetitive. We need to make sure that there's more to it than just a fun story, that the game is legitimately fun to play, and that if we're doing live service content after launch, that we have a good steady pipeline of whether it be characters or missions, but whatever it is, it needs to be substantial and meaningful and engaging. Every few months, every 2 to 3 months, there needs to be something going on in the game.
Yeah, I want it to be clear. I still think Rockstar's got the juice, or not Rocksteady. Rockstar. I don't know if Rockstar does. Hot take, but no, I just still think Rocksteady got the juice. I don't know. I hate when it seems like a couple bad decisions by people up top is ultimately going to affect how we all view a lot of very talented lower level employees. Cause like they're the ones making this shit happen. They're the ones that ultimately the movement does look fun. I'm sure they're making the best out of, and I'm sure some of them are on board with it, but I'm sure there's employees in there that are just like, this is going to be disaster. And maybe they don't even mean from a technical gameplay level. I could see this being like, I think ultimately it will be kind of a ding against the Arkham universe when it's all said and done. Not Gotham Knights level of like, I don't think it'll have any technical issues or anything like that. But I think it'll just be, we view it with disappointment, but I think it could be one of those things where it's like after the fact, after the rubble clears, it's just kind of like some people look back on it like, hey, it was actually pretty fun. There was some really good ideas here, but man, did the lives like, don't make a live service game for a superhero game. Like, I don't know. I know that it sounds cool in theory, but it's like, it's not really. I don't know.
Yeah. And that, I was actually thinking about that. Like, man, like, is there a way to make a superhero game work as a live service? And I don't want to say it's not possible because I think anything's possible. I think it could work with the right team, the right plan, the right mindset. It could work, but you'd already be fighting the uphill battle of expectations of what the fans would actually want. And then you have to get them over to your side of like, no, like we know you might not want live service and you might not think it works, but it can work. And it's just a matter of finding that right team, that right idea, and all like that. That's why
studios don't.
Avengers could have. I think Avengers could have worked. There's a large roster of heroes you could have added to it. Large span of stories you could have done in it. Like, I don't think it's impossible, but it all comes down to the plan, the design, and just whether or not you're up for the challenge.
I think, hear me out. I think, I think executives don't want to hear this, but it has to be B tier characters. I don't think it works with I don't think it works with the Avengers. I think the one thing I guess you could maybe argue is that Suicide Squad is B tier characters. I think with any kind of expectation, when it comes to like giant licenses, we all feel like they're being condescending. They're trying to milk us for everything that we're worth. I think it has to be something where it's like, well, this game wouldn't have been made anyways. Like, I think there's a little bit more understanding of like, oh, well, let's see what this is. And B, it has to be a studio that is multiplayer focused. Stop with the single player shit. Stop it.
Yes.
Make it a multiplayer studio. Yes. If Respawn came out and did this, we'd all probably be like, well, I mean,
we can see what happens.
Yeah, we're like Apex rules, so like we'll give it a chance. It's like Crystal Dynamics and Rocksteady make banger single player games. Let them do that. Stop putting a square peg in a round hole. Just go find a really good multiplayer studio. And what's funny is like I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was a really good game, but that would have made more sense. Like, I do at least like the line of thinking that, like, if they sully the Arkham thing a little bit, it's with the B characters. But I think even take it a step further, just take it as someone that was never going to get a game and just be like, give it to a multiplayer studio and you go, and you just let them cook and you make this as fun and weird. And like, I think the problem is they're coming at it a way too much of a not workshop, but what do they call it? Yeah,
like
whenever
assembly
they're
line
like
type thing.
the like when they test the markets or
Focus group.
Focus. Yeah, this is way too much of like a focus group thing between this and Avengers. And it's like, well, kids, what do you like? Well, they love Avengers Endgame. What else do you like? Well, we love playing Fortnite with their friends, and they're like, and you like it because it never ends. And they're just like, see, guys, and they're like connecting the dots. And it's like, we're not dumb idiots, okay? Like we have brains, and we want good games. And so I think, yeah, and again, a little bit of expectation, freeing yourself from that, and then get yourself a studio that's like, yeah, we do this kind of stuff anyways. This is where all multiplayer's gone. And I think that's fine. Microsoft, like, I could see, a lot of one of those Call of Duty teams being like, hey, we're tired of doing this. Could we do this? If
with like the
Microsoft
Punisher or something
got a deal with Disney or whoever, and they were just like, like, we're not going to do anything with X-Men. X-Men has a lot of expectations, but like, get something weird, man, and just be like, here you go, just do it. And then they're like, okay, that could be cool.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Well, we gotta wait and see. It comes out end of May. It's going to be an interesting conversation. I hope the best for this game. I hope it does. I hope the best for Rocksteady. Just learn lessons, and as Tyler said, don't put square pegs in round holes, guys. Just perfect fits, good fits. Look for that right fit. Put the round peg in the round hole.